Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dubrovnik. It's great to have full crowd here today, and I need to thank first my colleagues team, the creation association of the surgeon was us in Dubrovnik. We already see what Dubrovnik has to offer with a fabulous dance here today. I think this conference is a testimony of what EUPSA can offer and can put together. We have a large number of delegates, keeping with previous conference, and we had good representation of students, trainees, and consultants. We have also representation from different countries, and it's great to see all of you here. I think this is due mainly to the work that scientific office has done to put together a fabulous program. And I need to recognize the work of the team to put together fantastic lectures from outstanding pediatric surgeons like Ivo and Pierre, which will contribute immensely to this conference. But I think for the personal line, to have a representation from the Families Association. We as pediatric surgeons couldn't do the job that we're doing. We couldn't work very closely together with families. And I think we are all looking for this lecture from families representing George, CDH. And so we are really looking forward to that. But it's also about recognizing the leadership. And certainly the Red Lion Medal and the honorary honor goes today to outstanding pediatric surgeons from Asia and from North America. We could have put together this conference, which was not for the local organizer and for sponsors. And I invite all of you to contact and to talk to them to try to see if anything of they would be useful to your work. But today I want to spend a little time, as will be the last conference as president, to the concept of healing hands and healthful parts. Historically, Dubrovnik was a center of thoughts, as Marcus remembers. Low medical health, and had one of the first quarantine those in the world in 1377, placing health and science at the core of society, long before it was a common practice. Dubrovnik was a gateway from east and west, crossroad of cultures and Ayurveda. But it's a city that has visible store of conflict and time itself that continue to stand proud, beautiful, and peculiar. In many ways, Dubrovnik reflects the very spirit of surgery. Resilient, intricate, noble, and quiet. Being a gateway from the east and to the west is a place that has a crossroad of cultures and identity. And likewise, the surgery is increasingly global. We see here at this conference with more than 60 countries. Knowledge sharing, multi-country registry, cross-border management, in all areas, Dubrovnik historical role as a hub for connection, diplomacy, and exchange. So the quiet strength of what we do reflect that. Most people in medicine don't fully understand what pediatric surgery is about. It's not just a smaller version of bariatric surgery, It is a war reasonable. A war that demands primary procedure, rapid application, and profound compassion. We operate on the patient too small to speak, too fragile to withstand mistake, too innocent to understand what's happening. We navigate the conditions that are rare, sometimes undiagnosed, often urgent. We go for families in the most vulnerable hours where their entire universe hangs on a single diagnosis or outcome. Yes, we do it with grace, with resilience, and with love. We cooperate, yes, but we do also advocate. We educate, we innovate, we endure. But there are certainly challenges, and that's why we need each other and we need to connect. And that's what's this event. So behind the posters, let's not pretend that this is work. The power sees the surgical gown, the steady hands, the calm face. But we know the truth behind the posters. We know the sleepless night preparing for complex cases. We know the emotional fatigue of nearly about ice in the ground that never seems to end. We know the times that doubt ourselves after a loss or a complication, questioning every procedure, every move, every point. We face more that bureaucracy pressure, workforce shortage, and in some countries increasing resources. We face parents who are afraid, sometimes angry with us. We carry the emotional weight of our patients and their family. But what's remarkable and what must never be taken for granted is that we continue. We show up the next day to start again, we review the data, call the colleagues, send the scan, we assure parents, because that's what we want. Not because we are invincible, but because we are committed to our motivation. So EUPSA had a built community where collaboration and mentorship are not just encouraged, they are celebrated. Where knowledge crosses border, where young surgeons and not only thought how to operate, but how to read, how to listen, how to keep learning. In the age where medicine offers feel fragmented, we must protect a sense of unity. In all this collaboration, that we have achieved so much, even surgery, physical surgery, AI, but no of this advancement would matter without the mindset that sharing is better than competing, and that every child deserves the best, no matter where they're born. So let's talk about the future. Not only technology, but values. The next decade of pediatric surgery will bring astonishing tools, real-time simulation, remote collaboration in surgery, organ regeneration, predictive diagnostics, based on single platform. The future will be fast, smart, and complex. But we'll carry some responsibility, and we need to help each other. We must assure access, not just advancement. It's not enough to pioneer a new technology. If only 5 are in the world before, our duty is to make progress scalable, ethical, and global, and one more that's training. So let's not pretend training is easy. We know that it takes 10,000 hours to intensive practice to achieve the mastery of complex skills. So how do we do that? Well, 10 hours is about 5.5 years of intense training. So let's tell our juniors to keep calm and continue the training. But of course, it's not always easy. And at EUPSA, we try every year to help this process. And I'm just proud to announce that together with the Education Office, we are just launching a merge that will be a remote teaching for everyone in EUPSA. So we will have organized those teaching over Zoom so everybody can access to the teaching from all different skills in their surgery that we go for everyone. We will also protect the next generation of surgeons that enter a profession with rising expectation, administrative overload, and emotional strength. They need our guidance, not just in surgical skill, but emotional resilience, balance, and purpose. So one exercise that I want to do in 1 minute here is that you look around of junior and senior that you don't know, and you go and just introduce yourself. Do not feel this way that you are alone in the world. Okay? And we give 1 minute to that. If you just move around and look around with somebody you don't know, and you introduce yourself. That's right. That's right. I think this sense of community we need to grow it down. I would like to publicly recognize some of the action that we take to do something that has helped us greatly. So the women group that do some have really grown. They just were born last year after the conference in Bologna and led by Fallon put together a group of people, and now this group of people is growing and growing. And I would really encourage everyone to become that yourself because they're going to make a difference. They're really making a difference, creating webinars, nominations for the medals, surveys, and workshops. And I'm sure this will go more and more. And I'm very grateful to Carmen and everyone that has worked on this. But also, mentorship is not option. It's the only way we survive and we grow. And that's why I need to recognize also what has happened in the last year, after the 1 year, that LA and people have created this mentorship team that's many of the group, more than 60 people, have 60 mentors and 60 have built their relationship over the year, and there are more possibilities for next year and the years to come. So I'm going to encourage really to become part of that. And we are very happy that Dr. Harry Ford has accepted to deliver the first lecture on Saturday on reflection of making of an academic surgeon. So why we do all of this? Well, we do all of this because we can create the different. And it is because what we do is a power of a community that makes us unique in what we do. Once in a while, we feel the child future is in our hands, and we help set us free. Because parents hand us the greatest treasure and we respond with everything they have, our minds, our hands, our hearts. Because what we do matters, not just in charts or outcomes, but in memories, in family photos, in birthday, celebrated that I never have happened. So in closing, I want to leave you with this. We are not defined by the surgeries we perform, the lectures we give, and the titles we carry. We are defined by the hope we create The futures we make possible, and humanity will bring into a world full of machines and fear. Let us go forward from Dubrovnik, the city of resilience and beauty, and continue to be bold in our science, generous in our mentorship, and tender in our caring. Because in the end, it's not just about giving hands, but it's also hopeful heart. Enjoy the conference. Thank you.